Hey everyone, it's your boy Raislive. So, the Game of the Year Awards just happened. 2015 Game of the Year Awards has just been finalized. And no surprise here, I've said it in my last couple of videos. I always lent towards this game. Especially in my video about Fallout 4 being overrated. I said that the Game of the Year in my vote, man, was The Witcher 3. And The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt won Game of the Year. Now also they won that award, but the developer CD Projekt also won Developer of the Year award. So round of applause for CD Projekt. I got to give those, tip my hat to those guys because The Witcher 3 is a great game. Like I said, it's definitely the best game this year. And I have a lot of reasons to why it's the best game. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about it, why I felt like it should have won, why I felt like it was very deserving that they won, and also what do I feel should be the criteria when judging the game, and why did it win over other games? Because there were some good games that came out this year. So right off the bat, if you haven't played The Witcher 3, you guys definitely need to try to go pick it up. It's on sale now. I've seen some deals where there's as low as like $30, and you can actually get like all the expansions and everything for it for like $50 like right now. So like there's plenty of deals going on right now. If you're thinking about picking it up, if you haven't even played it, you should definitely pick this game up. The game is very well deserved for purchase, and you will see why they win. Now, first of all, you have to be into role-playing games. You got to be into these type of open world environments. If you're not into these kind of games, then of course you might not even like it, because some people, these type of games might not be their style, and I can understand that. But if you're into these kind of games and you love games like Skyrim, Dragon Age, you definitely want to try to pick this up. So okay, so The Witcher 3. The reason why I felt like The Witcher 3 was the Game of the Year award was because, first overall, it is the best game. But why? I'm going to explain now. So, for one, I felt like the attention to detail. Now, my criteria of how I judge games, a lot of people would think, hey man, this guy's kind of critical of your games. I just feel like there's no more excuses. Like, we know the criteria now. We know what people want. We know what we're looking for. Like, there should be no more excuses. I feel like now a lot of developers are like trying to take the easy way out, where it's like, okay, it's new generation. Let's just half-ass these games and just release them because people will appreciate them regardless, because it's a new generation and we're gonna get better and better throughout time. No, I don't believe that. I feel like these games should have been good from the jump. Like, you guys, like Sony and Microsoft, they give you developer kits, console kits or whatever before the consoles are released. So you guys had time with these consoles. What was expected. The consoles are PC-like architecture, so it should be easy to develop for these consoles. Now, I remember on the PS3 last generation, they used to always complain about how difficult it was for the consoles, because even though the Xbox 360 was easy, the PS3 was harder, and it kind of like create problems because it felt like developers had to like develop games separately instead of just developing a game and just porting it over to two different consoles. It really felt like they really had to like optimize a game for each console, and there's a lot of work. Now, it is what it is. I wouldn't know. I'm not a developer, so I can't, determine if that's a good excuse or not. But I take their word from it. Maybe it is a lot of work, and you need more time, and it's just a hard, too much of a hassle to do. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. However, like I said, this generation consoles, what's expected, and I felt like CD Projekt got it right. The Witcher 3, I love the sound in the game. The soundtrack is awesome. Great soundtrack. It makes you feel like it really draws you into the game. The sound, just the overall sound quality, as far as like the monsters, the sound, the voice characters. That's another thing too. The voice characters, like the entire dialogue in this game is freaking awesome. Like, you have to like give them props for this game. Like, when you're talking with someone within this game, like just a character, or doing a mission or an objective or whatever, just any type of dialogue, you really feel like they took their time with each individual character. Like, it really feels like every person is like their separate guy. Like they have some type of importance. It wasn't like half done characters in this game. Every character seems important. Every character has attention to detail. Every character, they took the time to give them a unique look to them. This is what I love about this game. Not too many characters look the same in this game. Like, there's probably are some, but when I'm like riding around in a horse and just, going around. Like, I don't even see that many of the same characters, except for like when you're in the city, you might see a couple of like those shady characters that they kind of like repeats or whatever. But for the most part, overall, everybody kind of like, especially as far as like, important characters within the game. And there's a lot of characters that are, important and that are like a part of the story or whatever. And it just gives so much variety within the game, and it really draws you into it, and it really makes you feel like, man, this is like a big old world with so many things to do, so many people to meet. And then also being that these characters have so much detail and so much character development, work being put in towards them. When you kill them or when they die or anything like that, when you got to make a decision, it really makes you think about, okay, let me think about the decision I'm going to make, because this character is either I'm going to kill off this character or I'm going to send this character away, So it really just makes you feel like, hey, you know what, I got to be on my P's and Q's. I really got to understand. I got to, pay attention to who I like, who I don't like, what response I'm going to get, and it's just an awesome, I love the way they did it, like even right now, as you can see with the mission I'm doing right now, just to, just the fact that the characters move their heads, and the lip syncing, the lip syncing is actually on point. It's not just mumble jumble, just off the wall stuff that's just like so like PS2 era. Like there's games like right now, like for example, like Fallout 4, like the lip syncing in that game is horrendous, it's terrible, and it's just like, damn. That's why I felt like Fallout 4 couldn't win the game of the year. There were just too many things within that game that I felt like they should have gotten right by now, but yet they still making the same dumb mistakes even with more powerful consoles. So that's the reason why I felt like Fallout 4 shouldn't have won the game. Now, the only other game that I felt like, kind of got jibed in this entire gaming awards era or whatever this past yesterday was Bloodborne. I felt like Bloodborne shouldn't have walked away with at least one award for something, just some type of recognition, just so they can feel like, hey, you know what, they appreciated it. They didn't feel like, hey, we just made something and nobody really cared about it, because the game got a lot of feedback back. A lot of people enjoyed the game. Even though the game was very difficult, the game got a lot of positive feedback. People say, this game was really good. Like visually it was good. The gameplay was good. It was challenging. A lot of times you don't get that many challenging games, A lot of times you have to boost the difficulty. And when boosting the difficulty in this era basically means enemies get more hit points, you do less damage type of difficulty. No, it's not like that. To me, a difficulty is like actually hard, like thinking. You got to time your hits right, you got to do everything correctly. Your enemy is more aggressive. Like I hate when when they try to boost the difficulty in certain games. All that really happens is the enemies get more hit points and you do less damage. Like to me, that's just a poor excuse of increasing difficulty. So so Bloodborne, I felt like they should have got something for that. But at the same time, I don't think it was better than The Witcher 3. I still, like I said, I stand by it. I always said it. The Witcher 3 was definitely the best game. Also, another thing with The Witcher 3 that I didn't mention was the side quests within the game are like really good. Like a lot of the side quests are actually better than the story mission. Now, I'm gonna get into like some criticism about the game later on, but I'm just gonna go through all the positive things about it real quick. So like I felt like the side quests were really good. I felt like some of them were like a lot better than the story mission. You always found yourself getting sidetracked, like not finishing the story or staying on track, because you just find these nice cool side quests and you just get so immersed in it, and you just feel like, dang, I want to explore here, I want to go here, I want to go here. You just get so sidetracked because everything is just so like awesome. Like it's just the way like for example, you be walking down like a path or whatever, you might see some blood on the path, and you just investigate it, and you find yourself, you just get sucked into this new quest or whatever. And it's just so cool how they did that. Like it's just so awesome. I love that about it. I also love the environment. The graphics is a huge plus. Like I said, the graphics looks really good. I love this is one of my favorite things about this game. A lot of people might overlook it, but I love how the fact that the environment actually, moves, like the trees, the wind, like it even has dynamic weather, which is, pretty much of a standard now in most games, but everything was just smooth. It didn't feel forced, it was just like really good transitions. It didn't feel like it was like too, happening too often. Like for example, like Metal Gear Solid, where like a sandstorm would just happen conveniently. Sorry about that, got cut off. But yeah, like Metal Gear Solid, how like the sandstorms would just happen conveniently. And it was almost like too convenient. It was just like, how many times these sandstorms are gonna come now? It was just kind of like, it was just kind of corny. It just felt like they kept happening over and over. I mean, and then they were cool because it actually, it changes the gameplay and how you play the game or a certain mission. But it also felt like kind of cheesy. It was kind of like, oh, thank God it came at this time, because I probably would have never got rid of it, got through that point. It's kind of like over exaggerated. But in The Witcher 3, the weather is, is cool. Like I said, and I love how like the trees like how they move or whatever in the background. You can look for like miles out and you can see like the trees moving. Like to me, that's just awesome. It makes you really feel like you're in this, medieval setting, and you really feel like you're out there in the wilderness. I really enjoy that. Now, some things to criticize about the game, because there are some things that that can make this game a lot better. For example, the main story. Now, I felt like the main story was like, first of all, like I said, the overall story is okay, but I feel like the main story, in particular, the main story is really cliche. Like I felt like I found myself getting really tired of the plot being dragged on. Now, for example, if you don't know, I'm not gonna spoil it, I promise. But like, you're in search of Ciri, the little girl. I'm not gonna get into too much detail on it. That's what the objective is. You're looking for her, and while you're looking for her, you stumble across the various things and various people, whatever, in search of her. And it really felt like the plot kept dragging on, because you get close to finding her, and then you find yourself saying, hey, you know what? Oh, she was just here and I just missed her. You got to go here now. Oh, you missed her. You got to go here now. Oh, she was just here. You got to go here now. It just got kind of redundant. I really got tired of that aspect of it. Now, and that's probably part of the reason why the side quest is so fun and awesome, because it does help balance out that issue. But I do feel like they should have did a better job at trying to transition the different parts and cities and different areas within the map or whatever. I just got really tired of, just chasing her and then finding out she's not there and having to go back and then chasing her some more, so that part kind of got tiring. I also got tired of the armor. I really felt like the armor is really cheesy. I feel like they could have did a lot better job as far as designing the armor. It does look like just clothes garments. It doesn't even look like, sometimes some of these armors look like clown outfits, honestly. Like some of them are just really trash. Like a lot of, for example, like the mittens, not the mittens, but your armor that goes around your head and your gloves. You're supposed to have gloves, but a lot of them look like mittens. They look like damn bacon mittens, man. I hate that shit. So yeah, they could have did a better job with that. Better, try to, in the next game, whatever, do a way better job as far as customization, as far as armor wise. Be more creative in that aspect. Also, the last one. Well, actually, I'm gonna go with the other one. The controls. I feel like the controls of the game are kind of a little sluggish and sloppy. I feel like the way Geralt move, or the main character or whatever, they don't move. They don't like move smooth. As far as like let's say like Metal Gear Solid. For example, how you take each step and you move, and it just felt like you're actually moving correctly. On this game, I felt like the movement in it was really sluggish and sloppy, and it kind of just jumps around the place. They could have did a better job as far as like upgrading that in the near future, or whatever game they decide, if they do decide to continue with the story. Now, here's a controversial talk I want to talk about. Now, some people were complaining. I read the comments or whatever. I'm not complaining of it, but some people were saying that they wasn't really too fond of the game because it was just all white people. The entire game is just white people. First of all, let me just say this. Look, I have no problem with it. I think it was well justified. And the reason why I feel like it's justified is because the writers of the game, for those who don't know, this game is based on a book. And the book is based in the Poland region. And if you know where Poland is at, it's in Europe. Now, this is medieval Europe. There are no black people in Europe at those in that era of time. So it makes perfect sense for this game not to have any black people, or just any other race in general. Like, it's okay, people. Like, I'm black, so I have no problem with it at all. So what I do feel like what they could do in the near future to maybe counteract this is just me, giving an idea of just. This is just more like of a bonus situation. It's not necessarily a bad thing. This is just like what they could do is just maybe spin off or make a new character or whatever in a new different region just to counteract that, For example, like Skyrim have like different races, and they have like different games for each different race or whatever. So that will, bring things together, help bring things and make more sense within the game if they did something like that. So that's just my thoughts about it. But like I said, at the end of the day, this game was well deserving of the Game of the Year award, and I felt like it rightfully earned it. And I'm giving my kudos to them, to CD Projekt, and I really hope they continue the series and build upon it and make it even better. So this is your boy Raislive. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on my next video. I'm out. Peace.